Hello there. Last stream before the end of the year, and I hope you all have had a great Christmas or whichever holiday you celebrate. Now, this will be a slightly different stream, as you can see from the title of the stream itself, because what happened is that I kind of left behind some things to do, and I wanted to do some cleanup. I wanted to do these things off stream, but I didn't really have the time and the energy to process all these things off stream, even though we will probably manage most of them, if not all of them, during the stream. So why not doing this during a stream? That was my idea. But I definitely managed to do something off stream, and that is reviewing both day 8 notes and adding the video timestamps, and also the same thing for day 9 stream. That was a bit of a journey, I want to say. I continuously understood things and then moved on, expecting to complete something, and then I found out that I encountered a different kind of error, and I may have, let's say, I may have used a solution that is cumbersome and is not needed. Maybe later I will test it. But first of all, what I want to do is some cleanup of the folder structure that I have in here. So documents, Terraform, and the nether cluster. Actually, let's just go to Terraform for the moment, and I should have this command. Perfect. Here we can see the situation. Okay, I have a test.tf that is an old version of provider.tf. I have tests that are the first tests that I implemented with Terraform, and then I have cluster, inside of which I have some other tests actually. Temp, which is probably a plan for Terraform that is not even useful anymore, given that both providers and Terraform CLI have been updated. And then I have the content of the GitHub repo. At least some of the GitHub repo has these information that is still currently private. And this is something that I wanted to... I mentioned, I actually teased, I guess, that I would set public, and so far I didn't. So, given that I am kind of annoyed by the current situation, I will need to clean up a little bit. And maybe I can retrieve the links for YouTube and Twitch to be adding them on the README, but definitely I needed to address the elephant in the room, that is the situation that is not correct. Especially what I don't like is having document Terraform, cluster, and then Terraform. That's mindless. And given that I'm working on my cluster, even when I'm working on Fedora CoreOS and in the future on other specific tools, like the next steps will be OpenWRT and a Kubernetes cluster, and then various services inside the Kubernetes cluster itself. And we will see how we get there and how far we go from there. All of these kind of situations I don't wanna keep adding even if it is useful stuff, because this is useful, but on top of something that is not useful anymore, it doesn't seem sensible. So let's take a step back and let's clean up. That's the idea. So let's start with this. And what we do first and foremost is moving cluster one to the parent folder, so to documents. For what reason? Because then I will be moving Fedora CoreOS inside the cluster, because the cluster contains everything in the cluster. So it will contain the Terraform stuff, and it will contain the Fedora CoreOS stuff, which we will see later we needed to clean up as well, and more. So let's do this. And test.tf, oh yeah, plus is definitely not a command. It's still the old version for this version, so this can be completely deleted. So -ref test.tf, goodbye, and this is not needed anymore. I think I may move tests to a parent folder as well, and Terraform will be included in tests. So I will basically reverse the situation, maybe, because if I go like this, it doesn't make sense to have Terraform and Fedora CoreOS. Yes, the KDBX file will stay there. I don't foresee any reason to move it currently. But anyways, there is no reason to have Fedora CoreOS and Terraform there. So yes, let me see. Maybe it makes sense, instead of moving things, to rename things. So mv tests to Terraform. Let's see if yes. And then mv Terraform to tests. Perfect. And now I can move tests inside cluster. As well as Fedora CoreOS. Yes, I could have used a single command. I'm aware of that. And now we can see that in here we have Fedora CoreOS, Terraform, and tests. I feel like from now on what we will have is tests for local tests, let's say the first approaches to something, to anything. And then inside tests, therefore, we will have Terraform, we will have Fedora CoreOS, we will have OpenWRT, and so on and so forth. Whereas inside the cluster, apart from tests, we will have just the single folders for Terraform, that is related to the Terraform repo, Fedora CoreOS, that will be related to Fedora CoreOS repo, and so on and so forth. So now what we have to do is understand that this requires me to sign in, of course. And let me take the password. Okay. Let me take the password. Okay, perfect. And let's check second vm.tf. So first VM, proxmox, true 4000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, CPU 2 cores, Virteo, VMBR 0, it is 0 for network, and Ubuntu. Okay, so I don't need this. I don't need this anymore. So now I also have the understanding that this is not enough, because this is just a VM with the ISO of Linux distribution, in this case, that is inside of it, but there is no configuration, so this VM is useless. That's totally okay. For the time being, I don't care. I don't need it. And what can we do? I can maybe put it inside tests to not lose it. Yes, it makes sense, because it doesn't make sense to actually delete this. So second.vm, second underscore vm.tf to test and Terraform. So if we go tests Terraform, we find a second vm.tf as well as a first vm.tf provider, and so on and so forth. I need also to look into the latest provider, because as far as I know, another release was made, so I need to update that stuff as well. Temp. Let's see the content of temp. Wow. I have no idea what this is about. File, temp, zip archive, data. Okay, start using at least v2.0. Compressor size. So it's a zip file. It's a zip file. I I have no recollection. So let me see. Let me think. I can try to unzip it. Unzip minus what? Minus structs file to pipe no message minus temp. Let's see what happens. Okay, tf plan, tf state, tf state prev, tf config, provide a second modules.json. I have no recollection. So app temp. Yeah, stuff used today. Hmm. 18. The 18th. Let me check. No notes about it. Let me see if in the notes on Joplin I have it. Let me check again. It was day 4. I saw SSH injection, network block, quick test, Fedora Core OS, Codeberg, conclusion. Okay, given I have no memory of this, let's just move it currently, and I will take a note. Temp file, and I move it to Terraform. So I move it to tests Terraform. Okay, good enough for the time being. So temp to tests Terraform, and again I have it there. Perfect. Now, once again, in here we are almost good. And I say almost good because Fedora Core OS, but also the content of Terraform are not great. So cd Terraform first. And in here we find that we have no more a second vm.tf. So if we go back in here, maybe, thank you. So we have the git ignore, that of course needs to be updated because I've added vars.tf to that file. The readme, that's okay. Provider.tf changed, and I need to actually change it in a way that kind of deletes the history of this file. We have CoreOS vm.tf that now is complete for sure, and it is the one we are using, I think. So if I go to Z, Yes, it is the one we are using. So now git status. Okay, untracked file. Okay, so I need to go here and add another line. Dot backup. Ctrl S. So if I do git status again, I have fcos minus cloud. That is the plan, and the plan we already said before that will not be uploaded to GitHub because it doesn't make sense. Cannot be used. It shouldn't be used. So I think I will need to change a couple of names because, first of all, CoreOS underscore vm.tf is currently used, but it is for the router. And this means that it is not the only one. And the name doesn't make any sense anymore. So what we can do is close it here, maybe. Yeah, okay. vm CoreOS underscore vm.tf, and we go for router.tf. Simple, straight to the point. FCOS cloud was because we started using Cloud Init, and it is a plan, as I've said. Doesn't make sense to use it. We can remove it right now because it won't go where it needs to go. So on GitHub, on Git, through Git on Codebug. I'm too used to use GitHub for work. Anyways, git status again, and we have to add. We have to modify provider.tf once again. So we go provider.tf. We need to do this, I think, 7. But let me check just. There it is, 7. And this is still like that. Okay, so 7 is the only thing that needs to be changed. Ctrl S. And the user API token ID and API URL, I can have it published. It's not an issue. So this is okay. We can definitely move on. Which means again git status and git add router.tf. Perfect. And then we go git, let me do it like this, git commit sm, okay, and here we go router.tf, I think. Fit add yeah, add defined Terraform definition for the router VMs. I think this is correct. So if I go git status once again, this branch, your branch is ahead of origin main. Yeah, that's normal. Changes not staged for commit. To update what will be committed, git restore file to discard changes. No changes added to commit. Okay, so I need to add doesn't make too much sense. But if I go git commit, let's try it. Git ignore. Add vars.tf and let me open this and this. To git to dot git ignore. Okay, so I go git status, perfect, and modify provider.tf. So again git commit provider.tf, fit chore, no, fit chore bump provider version and oh right, this one is the annoying one. So let's do it like this currently, and then I need to look up the proper way to delete the history basically of this file. It's gonna be a ride. Anyways, version and removed API token. Removed hard-coded, I guess, and remove hard-coded API token. Okay. Git status. So I can go git run CoreOS vm.tf, I guess, and git second vm.tf. So now git status, I can git push. I can go git push. So git push. Oh. I seem to remember. Let's do it like this. currently, and then I will figure it out, I guess. So if we go here and I refresh, why these are still here? Shouldn't they be removed? I'm not, how to say, a wizard with Git. So I didn't commit the deletion, I guess. So git commit delete. Okay. Same for second yum.tf. So now git status, there it is. Now git push again. Now, if I refresh, those are not there anymore. Now, if I go to provider.tf, I can see this old API token, which I can show because I don't care. Before I make it public, which is something that I will do in a couple of minutes, I guess I need to figure out okay, I don't understand, but I will need to figure out how to delete the history. And I did find something, I did search for it some time ago, but I don't remember when and where I searched, so let me see. Delete history of file in Git repo. How can I remove a file from Git history? And we send data from a repository. Maybe something like this is what I'm looking for. From the history of a repository, if you can carefully coordinate with everyone who has cloned it and you're willing to manage the side effects. About removing sensitive data from a repository. When altering your repository's history using tools like git filter repo, it's crucial to understand the implications. Rewriting history requires careful coordination, and I'm the only one, so currently it's not gonna be an issue. What is this git filter repo? I don't have it. So I need to install something. Side effects, high risk of contamination, risk of losing other developers' work, change commit hashes, branch protection challenges, broken diff, poor interaction with open pull requests, lost signatures on commits and tags, leading about sensitive data exposure. Okay, so I need to install git filter repo, it seems. Yeah, I don't really like that we have a command without explanation. Let me see. Git filter. Okay, git filter branch is it's something. There it is. Rewrite branches. Okay, description. Let's see. Rewrite git revision history by rewriting the branches mentioned in the rev list options. Index filter. This is the filter for rewriting the index. It is similar to the tree filter, but does not check out the tree, which makes it much faster. Frequently used with git rm ---- cached ---- ignore unmatch. See examples below. this may be useful, to be honest. Suppose you want to remove a file containing confidential information or copyright violation from all commits. Git filter branch -3 filter rm file name head. However, if the file is absent from the tree of some commit, a simple rm file name will fall for that tree and commit. Thus, you may instead want to use rm-f file name. Using index filter with git rm yields a significantly faster version, like using rm file name, git rm --cached file name will fail if the file is absent from the tree of commit. If you want to completely forget a file, it does not matter when it entered history, so we also add an -ignore and match. Index filter git rm cached file name add. Okay, so I can use this kind of command. But at the same time, I also need to temporarily create a copy of the file to make sure I don't fuck up, because recreating it will be annoying, recreating it from scratch, even though I probably have another version in the notes or something like that. So let's -l, this is all good. cp provider to provider.tf.bck, perfect, it's totally alright. Now we have this command git filter branch and the file name is provider.tf. Warning, git filter has a glut of gotchas generating mangled history rewrites. Ctrl C before proceeding to abort. Then use an alternative filter tool such as git filter repo. Instead, see the filter branch manual, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now if I go back to Terraform, I go in here, I still see stuff. Wait. Git status. Yeah. Git push. don't get it. What? I don't have a provider.tf. What the fuck? Why? And I'm glad that I did this for this reason. So I can use maybe different method. I guess git pull. Oh yeah. Oh Jesus. Need to specify to reconcile. That's fair. And we can do a minus rebase, I guess. Or no rebase. I don't know what a rebase is. And git rebase. And git rebase. Transplant a series of commits onto a different starting point. So definitely I wanted to rebase. Git pull minus rebase. Okay, so now ls-l, I again have provider.tf, and if I go to provider.tf, I can see that there is still stuff that I can see, which is not correct. So what we can do now is git rm git status. Yeah, that's okay. Your branch is head of to publish your local commits. Okay, so git push. And this is still visible. So now git status, we have that file. That's totally okay. What we can do is now git rm provider.tf, and then we can provider.tf exe to provider.tf. Perfect. Git status. Perfect. Git add provider.tf and git commit some. I think I have an issue now. Sure. Remove history of the provider.tf file. Nope. That's not correct. That is not correct. So provider.tf to provider.tf dot c again. So git rm provider.tf, and this deletes the file as well. Now git commit some sure delete provider.tf due to history provider.tf with status so said git push manual steps, I guess. Okay, so if I go to Terraform, I don't have that file anymore. Now this again git status git add provider.tf, and now we have already a commit ready. Provider.tf, and now again git push and now if I go like this, this is a new file, and in the history I only have this. No, I can still see it in the history of the repo. Damn. don't really understand how to delete that. Let me check. So this is the issue. Cherry pick. I don't know what is cherry pick. Sorry, I would like to delete this. And I don't understand how to do it, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyways, this is currently in the correct state. I will try to understand how to delete this, but it's okay currently. We need to do something similar for Fedora CoreOS. That is, we go temporarily in here. And we go create a new repository. I think I can go on Fedora CoreOS definitions. Create repository. Should only contain alphanumeric. Yeah, I got it. Fedora CoreOS definitions. Perfect. Now, nope. This is the one. From this repo. In here. So we go git clone this in theory. Yes. Now, if I go like this, I have Fedora CoreOS definitions. Perfect. And now we have FCOS and Fedora CoreOS definitions. Fedora CoreOS definitions is the repo that will be public. Actually, it's already public, I think. I didn't set it as private. Therefore, what do we move there? And we move to FCOS. And we have tests inside. And we have a lot of stuff. So, we have a lot of stuff, but that's okay, because in here we can see that we need these two. So we need those four. These 5 I need, this and this I need, this I need, this I don't need. Okay, so I move this stuff. I move this stuff. Oh, Jesus. To here, I think. What? That's ugly. That's ugly. Oh, that's annoying. router.bu and router.agn ssh. It's quicker. Timezone dot quicker. Zincati. Like this. It should be correct. Yes. And we move indeed there. Like this. Oh. Like this. Oop. Yeah, I messed up what I wanted to do. Now, these are all files that will be added to the repo. And this is all for one VM currently, but some of these things like timezone, SSH, Zincati may be for multiple VMs currently. Maybe. Zincati may not, but other things may. And npm install maybe will be removed in the near future, but that's okay. So we go into git add I think. And now we need to commit. Git commit netbird ugly script for the installation Angli script installation of NetBird on SUS might be unneeded. NetBird install. Then git commit for what? For router .bu. The butane definition for the creation or the configuration of the VM dedicated to the router. This gonna be easy. EGN add transpiled version of the router.bu file. SSH .bu and butane definition for the configuration of SSH. That's my version of the SSH.bu file. Timezone.bu, timezone.bu, version of the time zone. EGN of the time zone.bu file. Perfect. And now we have zincati.toml. Add local zincati configuration for the VM. Git status but sim is gone. Okay, git branch advanced set upstream to fix up. Git status. What? Git push. Origin main. No, sorry. push so expect that we have all these things perfect. I might rename the other sorry and we are back to class. FCOS gets moved to tests. Actually, set the FCOS mv tests to FCOS. Perfect. Mv FCOS to tests. Cell. FCOS. Okay, now we have a better situation because we have Fedora CoreOS, public, Terraform, private for a little bit, tests with FCOS and Terraform. And that's ideal. One thing I need to do is move back to Terraform and do Terraform init minus upgrade. Okay, Terraform plan just to see if everything works correctly. Seems to be working correctly. I don't plan to do anything else right now about this, but let me check because in here we need to do this. So six with a difference. Okay, look for Terraform. Yeah. So these are definitely things that I need to complete. And these are things I need to complete. These, I think I don't need to do it, but that's okay. This is done. So managed during daytime stream, and in here we'll add the link, creating same thing. We need to do that. I think it's a bit okay. Okay, check. Okay, move to that. Don't need to configure Tmax to use bash. That's okay. Y side. Oh yeah, this one is something that I can do right now. Ah, my knees are aching. Huh, yeah. One of the things I noticed. Anyways, let's check this thing because it's annoying that it happens. So when I log in, maybe not, I don't, yeah, for one. I get this message. No valid subscription, which is fair enough. Can it be removed without adding a subscription? I don't know. So let's search. And then I will quickly take a look if I can modify the butane file for the router, changing the NetBird repo configuration so that I can scrap that ugly script that I created in the previous stream. But anyways, proxmox v virtual environment, virtual environment, and no valid subscription removal, something like that. Yeah. I'm not the only one that doesn't like that, it seems. My settings. No. To updates repository. Okay, okay, it seems that it seems that there is no way to remove it without a complex way, something to implement that I don't plan to do. So this is my opinion as well. Similar to this. I like the way they are managing this, or they did manage 5 years ago. What Okay. It seems that I'm done searching this stuff, and let me open it again in a way that I can also read, because otherwise. And it was down here. Yeah. Managed during the times stream, and I will add the link. In the meaning that I will not be searching for that solution anymore because it's not there. And what else can we do? Yes, that modification. Let me see. Here we go. And this is the file. This is the file. And what we change is this. And what we change is this sleep. Sleep as well. We change also this by commenting these two lines because it should be working like this. And then we move to, let's do it like this, city documents cluster federal class definition, and we have the butane SCP, and I need to also modify this, change me, okay. And we go Terraform plan minus out router and Terraform apply router. So let's see what happens. And since we are here, let's, while this is doing things, Fedora core OS qcow 2. I think Fedora core OS by itself is better. Community demo show downloads for Proxmox V and download. And we can put it here, that's totally okay. And then we will verify it when it's finished. In the meantime, sh core 2.168.1.100. Oh yeah, as usual. sh. There we go. NetBird is not there. Systemctl status net. So did it go? What? Journalctl minus u. What? Let's see. Systemctl reboot. Let's see what happens. And let's see if I have NetBird like this. It's looping. Let me see. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe yes. But I need to clean it up because I don't need that anymore. So I can use the script for the creation of the configuration of Netbird. So, okay, let me write some notes now because it has been quite a while. So, clean up Terraform repo. Clean up folder structure first. Clean up folder structure in the local computer. And we will do this. New folder structure. Wow. R2 Codberg repositories. Perfect. Terraform repo. Still private. Add an issue cleaning the history. I will look up better the way to do it. FCOS repo. Oh, Jesus. FCOS repo. Create the repo and set as public right away. Tests folder used for local tests if needed. NetBird installation. No, there is first the subscription message on Proxmox VE. TLDR is that the message is there consciously and it will likely not be removed unless paying for a subscription. Not planning to do it anytime soon. Changing the configuration of the NetBird repo. There is no need anymore for the ugly script created in the previous stream. Now a script can be created for the configuration of the connection of the to the NetBird server. The authentication for the authentication of the to the NetBird server. And this is what was managed during the stream so far. Apart that I needed to do some cleanup in here. So what do we do is the following. In here, instead of using this, we go directly with this. Okay, then we go then we go exec start post. And we go where is it? This. Yeah. Instead of NetBird, install NetBird config.sh. And even here we go NetBird config.sh, and this is here. This the name config perfect. And if config section, as we can we can do exactly this, because it needs a boot after the installation. So basically what happens is that it's a one shot. Will it be triggered? Let me check the one shot again, because I don't remember. Man systemd.service, I think it's here. One shot. Behavior of one shot is similar to exec. However, the service manager will consider the unit up after the main process exits. It will then start follow-up units. Remain after exit is particularly useful for this type of service. Type equal one shot is the implied default if neither type nor exec starts are specified. Note that if this option is used without remain after exit, the service will never enter active unit state, but will directly transition from activating to deactivating or dead, since no process is configured that shall run continuously. In particular, this means that after a service of this type run, it will not show up as started afterwards, but as dead. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But at the same time, sometimes units should just execute an action without keeping active processes, such as a file system check or a cleanup action on boot. For this type of shot exists. Units of this type will wait until the process specified terminates and then fall back to being inactive. The following unit will perform a cleanup action. Type one shot exec. start for cleanup. Clean up all the full data. So okay, additional commands that are executed after the server is stopped. Something fucking up. Okay, so this is not what I want to use. What I want to use may be exec stop. No. Exec start post. What did I? So it's correct to use exec start post. Additional commands that are executed before or after the command in exec start, respectively. Syntax is the same, multiple command lines are allowed. If any of those commands fail, the rest are not executed, and the unit is considered failed. Okay, so it seems that it would be correct to use exec start posts. It would seem correct. And let's do this. And let's. So this is not needed. This is not needed. This is needed because we go like this and we try again. And on this, I think I will be done as well. This. Yes. Terraform plan minus out router. As usual. So the theory says that this starts and it does its thing. and it didn't. Ah, Jesus. What happened? Something silly happened. Maybe. Let's change that and let's try again. Because maybe it's just this silly thing. That's the issue. Oh. Let's see what happens. Yes. Okay, so it didn't trigger, it seems, the status. What is it? NetBird install failed. Permission denied. Permission denied. Permission denied. What the hell? Permission denied? Why? In theory, it should be gone in here. Oh, again, this thing. So in here we need to go all the ways. Bin sh -c sleep 2 and nope. I will try to understand why I need to sleep for a moment, because it shouldn't happen, but it's okay. So I expect that this will do its thing and then reboot once. Let's see. It's not rebooting. Why is it not rebooting? Okay, because it didn't finish yet. It's activating. I think I need to modify this to want RPM host 3. Okay, moved forward a little bit, actually. But anyways, I think for today we are done. So, last stream of the year, 2025 is over. I want to thank you all. we will continue next year, but to be clear, next week. And we will finish for sure this little detail and move on to OpenWRT. Today the cleanup was a good thing. I wanted to do this for a while and I didn't have the time, but now everything is proper, I want to say, and we can move on to the next things. Thank you all, happy new year, and see you in 2026.